The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views or ideas of the staff or management of KWSH or the 110 Broadcast Group.
O Solobi Ajuliben, O Solobi Ajuliben, Agasamga Mojasi Jash Miko Sapalgi, Agasamga Mojasi Jash. O Solobi Ajuliben, O Solobi Ajuli ben Agasamga Mojasi Jas Ikina Kalgi Agasamga Mojasi Jas Osolobi Ajuli ben Osolobi Ajuli ben Agasamga Mojasi Jas Powantagi Agasamga Mojasijas Osolobi Ajulibin Osolobi Ajulibin Agasamga Mojasijas Potalgi Agasamga Mojasijas O Solobi Mojasi O Solobi Mojasi Agasamga Mojasi Jas Mikosa Palgi Agasamga Mojasi Jas O Solobi Mojasi O Solobi Mojasi ben Agasamga Mojasi jas Ikina kalgi Agasamga Mojasi jas O Solobi Mojasi ben O Solobi Mojasi ben Agasamga Mojasi jas Powantagi Agasamga Mojasi jas Osolobi Mojasi ben Osolobi Mojasi ben Agasamga Mojasi jas Potalgi Agasamga Mojasi jas Otolobi Mojasi ben Otolobi Mojasi ben Agasamga Mojasi jas.
Istongo Seminology. Jeremy Foltz, Cheho Jifkados, and Mundi and Hayetki. How do you like it, Delaney? And so my name is Jeremy Foltz, and welcome to New Year, New Us 2023 episode 1 of the new year of the Seminole Nation radio program. I am your host, Jeremy Foltz. Alongside of me today, we got an Hisogi over there, the Mr. Delaney Pinot, Mr. Josiah Bender. Mado for joining us today.
Yep.
As you heard, Mr. Joe Kuhn, former language director and just a good friend, Mr. Joe Kuhn, singing Otholabi Jaliban. And so for anyone who doesn't know that song kind of generally stays for towards the new year. You might hear it like at a New Year service. A lot of times churches have services that go through the night when they ring in the new year and during this time of the year. And the first part of the song talks about how the year has gotten older, or has gotten old. Otholabi Ajaliban. And then it says, Agasamka Mojasijas, renew your faith. But then halfway through that song, and they usually start singing it right around midnight. Joe, do you know this? And then it changes. The song changes while they're singing it. And then around midnight, when it becomes that new year, it talks about Otholabi Mojasiban. In the new year, Agasamka Mojasijas, renew your faith. So it's a cool song. And again, that was Mr. Joe Kuhn bringing us into the 2023 episode 1 edition of the Seminole Nation Radio program. So what's going on, fellas?
That's how you start off the new year right there.
I can barely hear y'all. You're staying away from the microphone.
It's good New Year. Good New Year.
Thanks, Joe, for speaking up. Good one. So, new year, new us. You know, we've made some good resolutions this year. Joe, what's one of your biggest resolutions you're making this year?
I haven't even thought about them.
Oh, no resolutions?
Lose weight. Gym.
I asked Mark about resolutions earlier. He said, "Oh, the general council meeting's getting ready," and he said, "Because all the resolutions."
Dedicated, very dedicated.
What about you, Delaney?
Oh man, just same old. Stay healthy. Get to work. Be a good person.
Be on time.
Yeah, be on time.
I always do that. What do you mean? What about you?
Yeah, probably just focus on me this year. Nah, eat better. You know, we try to eat at some good establishments in Seminole, so the better their food becomes, the better I eat. So that's kind of my thing. Get better, maybe hit the gym a little bit more than what I'm doing now. Maybe, yeah, that sounds good to me. So, good one. So, what y'all do this weekend? We've had a few days off. Anything exciting at all?
Not really. Not too
No?
much. Yeah.
We brought Joe on to fill up time today, and Delaney's usually the one that says, "I didn't do nothing this weekend," and then I look at Joe. He's like, "Yeah, we didn't do nothing." Now.
I guess I did something. I just went to Sapopa and smoked some ribs and watched the ball drop.
Oh,
But it was just a chill weekend for me.
the basketball.
What?
You watched the basketball drop?
Nah, the ball drop New York. New Year's.
Oh, the New Year's Eve ball.
Yes, sir. What you do, Delaney? That's it. Really nothing. You didn't do nothing.
Stay
Delaney?
home. Stay out of trouble. About it.
I think I was actually asleep when midnight rolled around this time.
Oh yeah.
I watched the East Coast,
Yeah.
come in on Dick Clark's, New Year's Eve, but I don't think I quite made it to our 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
I just can't stay up that late.
I'm pretty sure 12:01 I was asleep. Or at 12:01 it was it.
Well, it's a new year, like we said. It's still kind of a slow news day. We do have some things that we want to announce going on. However, with it being, our first day back here with the nation, I think everyone's trying to get their emails cleaned back out again, and everything is starting to get scheduled. But I don't know if we've got just a ton of news going on, but we will go through what we have today. And Joe said he might even sing us out the song, so we'll see what happens there.
He's a pretty good singer.
Pretty good singer over there, Mr. Joe Bender, that guy. But
George Strait.
but this weekend, January the 8th, Thlefo Tuesday, January? Yeah. And so this is going to be the MSW Fourth Sunday Church Service dates. Again, like we say every week, some of these churches may or may not be having their church services, but the ones that schedule to is Artisy, Beaver, BMO, Bird Creek, Buckeye Creek Community IBC, Deep Fork Columbia, Faith Baptist there in Dustin, Hickory Ground number 2, Little Casita, Miccosukee, Middle Creek number 2, Montezuma, Okfuskee, Pecan Grove, Sand Creek, Eufaula, Tomajessi, and Wetumpka, and that's all going to be this weekend. And again, just call maybe one of your friends or someone you know who attends those churches this weekend just to make sure they are still having their fourth or their church service dates, their church meeting dates this weekend. And then every week, we talk about the ones who've started their journey. Unfortunately, this week, like no other, a lot of people's starting their journeys. A lot of families are missing loved ones today, starting the new year kind of with broken hearts. And so we want to remember those families and members of the community in your prayers. At this time, we are going to go ahead and pause for a moment of silence. All right, Mado. And so we are going to go ahead and backtrack just a little bit and kind of hit some important details that we may have not talked about here in the last couple of weeks, but are still kind of on the forefront. Back on October 15, 2022, the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma passed TR 2022-98, a tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, authorizing and improving the expenditure of funds received under the American Rescue Plan Act for household assistance. Assistance to households are for $700 per tribal member. And so on November 1st of 2022, the applications to apply became available at www.sno-nsn.gov, and you can click the SNO ARPA tab, then click on ARPA Household Assistance, and then the staff was also assembled, the ARPA team, to answer all inquiries. And if you do have any questions, you can contact 405-561-2261. And again, it's regarding the $700 distribution. Contact Seminole Nation ARPA team. Again, that's 405-561-2261. All right, Delaney, y'all got the diabetes program?
We got it. Yeah.
Yes, we got it. I guess.
All right, I'll sit here and critique y'all then.
All right, the brown bag fitness, is that picking up this week?
Yep, that's all this week.
So that's this week. Where's it at, Joe?
Man, I don't got my contacts on. I think Delaney, you got to read it, Delaney.
Okay, so I'm going to critique you here, Joe.
That we woke up.
You got to always be ready, man. Always be ready.
I left them at home.
So,
okay, I got this. On Mondays and Wednesdays, it'll be at the Chifigme Wellness Center, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, it'll be at the Complex, which I'm pretty sure is the OAP building, right?
Well, it's the Senior Citizen Center there in Wewoka, but that's where OAP has their program there. But yeah.
But email Jerome Harrison at harrison.je@sno-nsn.gov, or you can also call him at 405-234-5247.
Good deal. And also, okay. Delaney, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. And also the diabetes program on every Tuesday and Thursday, they do Tai Chi there in Wewoka at New Life Church, and this is at 10 a.m. And so if you want to register for that, you can go to the Chifigme Wellness Center, or you can sign up via email. And then also chair aerobics on Mondays and Wednesdays here in Seminole at 10 a.m. If you want to do any chair aerobics, you can do that. Go get your chair stretching on. I might need to do that because I feel like I sit too much during the day. So, but yeah, and then for any questions, feel free to contact Jerome, 405-652-0878. And then on Thursday, Delaney, what are you doing?
I don't know yet. Eating somewhere, probably.
Oh.
No. This Seminole Nation blood drive?
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
Where's this one at? Seminole Nation Casino, I-40.
January 5th.
1:15 to 5 p.m. Look for the Blood Mobile.
Do you know what the Blood Mobile is?
I sure don't.
It's a big old RV-looking bus.
Oh.
Yep. Where you go in and give blood. Again, this is part of the tribal blood. Oh, there we go. And that concludes the Seminole Nation. No, I should have known that was coming. Was it the first Tuesday of the month, Dennis?
Yes.
Yep, first Tuesday of the month. But again, on Thursday, January 5th, the Seminole Nation Casino is having a blood drive on the I-40. 1:15 to 5. Again, this is part of the Tribal Blood Drive Challenge versus the Chickasaw Nation, Choctaw, Muskogee Creek, and Seminole Nation. And so make sure you go out, and you can still receive a long sleeve T-shirt for donating on Thursday.
And then an announcement from Communications: the December Choga Tulumi is coming to your mailbox.
This should already been out, isn't it?
Oh yeah. You're reading the wrong one.
And that comes from Joe, media specialist of the communication. Yeah, sometimes, Joe, like in our rundown, we'll leave just notes from prior weeks in there just so that way you know.
Yeah.
And you read like one that we read, I think, a couple weeks ago.
I think Delaney set me up on that one.
He might have. He's like, no one's getting my job as co-host. But so, no, the December edition of the Choga Tulumi came out a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Because you went and picked it up.
Picked it up and took it everywhere, yeah.
And then also Stigler, they mailed those out to all the tribal members that have signed up to receive their copy. But if you were to talk to a tribal member directly right now, Joe, and if someone wanted to sign up for the Choga Tulumi, how would you tell them to sign up to receive it at their home?
Just email seminolemedia@gmail.com and just make sure you put in your name and your address. And name and address basically is what we need.
All right. And then about what's the turnaround time for them to receive a newspaper?
If they didn't get a previous one from the previous month, then whenever they send us their address, they'll basically get the very next one.
As long as it's not like right around that time when that newspaper's coming out, right?
Yes, sir.
Good deal. And so the January edition of the Choga Tulumi will have photos with Santa and then there'll also be 2022 recaps of highlights from the nation, I'm being told. So a lot of pictures, sounds like, in the next one.
Yeah, a lot of pictures and a lot of graphics, just reflecting all of 2022.
And so what's a good timeline on when that paper might be out this month?
In about 2 weeks.
Oh, that was a Mark D. Williams guarantee. Almost sounded like, right? No, I know the communications department, media department, been working hard on getting all that together. And so we'd like to thank them for everything you guys are doing. I know it's some tough work you guys get to do sometimes, but definitely work it, huh?
Blood, sweat, and tears every day.
And that's all before lunch.
Uh-huh.
Good deal. And then also, right at the last minute, our friend Jake Tiger sent over a historic preservation office. Did you know? So, Dennis, do you by chance happen to have some good fact-learning music? Oh, that sounds pretty good right there, Dennis. So did you know Seminole Textiles? One of the most fascinating pieces of Seminole clothing is woven items, whether it's the headloom items of the 18th century made with yarn wool, and size 8 pony beads, most commonly known as finger woven sashes and garters made of wool yarn and glass beads. They come in many designs, mainly the chevron and diamond oblique patterns. Many of these items can be seen in museum collections, such as the Smithsonian, the Ata Thiki Museum online collection, using the keyword search sash, baldric, and heddle-loom to view these works of art. And that moment was brought to you by the Historic Preservation Office. Inga. Again, so what's the Seminole tribe of Florida have a museum? That's the Ata Thiki.
I believe so, but I'm not sure.
I don't know how to pronounce that. I need to get with Jake. We need to get Jake back on here and tell us how to pronounce that word.
Since Delaney can't.
And so again, go check out the Historic Preservation Office's Facebook page. Now, next week, we will be having some guests on from the Historic Preservation Office, Mr. Ted Underwood and Ben Yahola, and they're going to be talking about the anniversary of the Seminole burning that happened in 1898. And so they'll be coming on to talk a little bit about that, where two I wouldn't say men necessarily, but two young ones, Lincoln McGeezy and Palmer Sampson, were victims of the Seminole burning back in 1980 or 1898. And then there is also a honor walk scheduled on January the 8th, and they will gather between 10 and 11 a.m. and begin walking at 11 a.m. from the Miccosukee Mission, from the Seminole Nation Reservation Indian Territory to Maud, Oklahoma, to the burn site. There will be a tobacco ceremony at the end of the journey to honor those ancestors, and also during that they're going to honor the Dakota, the Mankato 38+2 on that day as well. There will be a caravan following for anyone who wants to walk or ride, but they are having that walk to help the people in Community Hill and to let the ancestors know they haven't been forgotten. So they said rain, sleet, or snow, and our friend Red Bear sent that out, and so Mado for that, Red Bear. And then again, Ben and Ted will come on next week to talk about the actual event that happened called the Seminole burning, and so not to release too much information, so that way they can talk about it a little bit more in detail, but some dates to remember, definitely. So that come from Historic Preservation. What about ICW?
They're still in need of foster parents, and you could be the one to make a difference in a Seminole child's life. If you have any questions, or if you're feeling like you want to help out, you can call them at 405-257-9038. What else we got there, Joe? Language department. We're always looking for fluent speakers to help us out to translate these children books that we're working on, so we'd appreciate any help. If you know any speakers that might not see this or hear this,
we've
let 'em
been,
know.
we have a little bit of time today. We can talk a little bit about that project we've been working on. It's a cooperation with a group called TLC, but it's a Department of Ed grant that we're not the grantee on, but we were asked if we want to be a part of it, and this project helps us get books for preschool to about 12th grade in our language, which for people that are still learning the language, this I think would be a good opportunity for them as well, because I'm learning a lot from just doing some of the translation of these books. It's been a good learning experience for us, but then also Delaney, what do you feel about these books so far that we've been working on?
I think it's very important. It's a very good bonding experience, I think, when they are released, to have with your child or whoever, really, to use learning tools.
Yeah, so the goal is, once these books are released, we ended up getting a partnership agreement with our child care programs here at Seminole Nation and also Head Start programs. And so once the books are released, then we'll be able to have learning nights with some of the parents of their kids that get these books. And then they'll also be in the libraries. And so you can go to the local libraries. One of our goals is to get these books into each and every local library that's on the res here at Seminole Nation. And you'll be able to check them out. But then also an extra thing that we're doing, me and Delaney and the language department, we're going to be recording these books in the language and have access to the audio file. So even if you're not fluent in the language, or even if you can't read the books in the language, you'll have access to go online and find those audio files. You'll be able to play them and actually even have the book in front of you. We're pretty excited about it. A lot of hard work goes into it. Translations might be the easiest part of it, Delaney, going through. And, for us, having our elders sit around and talk in the language, that's probably the highlight that we get from it. but it's definitely one of the easiest parts, because then the rest of it, putting it all in formats that the publishers can use and gathering all the information together, that kind of takes a lot of time for what we got to do. So, but again, a good project we're working on. We're excited to see the fruits of that, and a lot of things coming. And 2 of those books are going to be translated, but also have a animated video with them. So that's another thing that we're excited about too. So some good things coming from the language department, I should say so,
I agree.
Also, the 4-week Beginning Muskogee online classes are still available online. You can go to the SNO-NSN.gov webpage, click on the culture tab, and then find the language department or language program, and then from there there'll be a link that will help you get started on your language journey. Tell us a little bit about that annual basketball tournament that happened this week.
Oh yeah, I went out there Saturday to watch some, these res ball, as we say, and there's a lot of talent. Took my niece out there to watch some of her friends, but I caught the last few games of the 7th and 8th grade.
So our one of our friend from the IT department, Mr. Adam Bear, he had a team in there, right?
That's who I went out
How'd
there
they
to
do,
score,
I wonder?
I'm pretty sure they ended up going undefeated and winning the tournament.
It wasn't rigged at all, but he won. Huh?
I knew the script beforehand.
I saw Adam post on Facebook a video, and coaches usually have a box they stay in when they coach, right? It's called the coach's box.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. It's about 8 foot by 3. Every coach doesn't stay in this box either, by the way. I'm not pointing out Adam for any reason so ever, but I've never seen a coach walk with this team all the way across half court and coach them on the other side of the that's what I saw on Facebook anyway.
I thought he was helping another team out. Just getting to know their players, trying to steal a player or something.
So the winners of that Princess Tournament will be posted on the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Community and Events Facebook page. Seen some friends out there, or some pictures of some friends that was out there, but congratulations to Arsenal. That's Adam's team, Supreme Nation again. Good job, and every winner will be listed, so go check them out. Transit, if you need any kind of ride in Seminole County, call the Seminole Nation Transit at 405-294-3674 to schedule a ride. Make sure you give them the 1 business day in advance. Call between 8 and 3 to schedule. And they said they can't take you to the casino, but if you need to go get some groceries, do some shopping, they'll pick you up at home and take you to wherever you want to go. Then come back and pick you up again. Seminole Nation Transit 405-294-3674. And again, tribal enrollment is still by appointment only as far as we know. The number to call to make an appointment for enrollment, 405-257-7242, or CDIB 405-257-7243. And then job openings. If you're looking for a job to work for the nation, you want to come work with me, Delaney, Mark, Josiah, there's some job openings here for the Seminole Nation. If you go to SNO-NSN.gov, click on the careers tab. There's the job openings that's available. If you want to work for the casino, SeminoleNation.casino is the place to go on the web. And then SNDOC. If you go to the SNDOC webpage at SNDOCOK. I think it's org, but the applicantpro.com will take you to their listing for jobs. And then the Housing Authority of Seminole Nation of Oklahoma also has some jobs available. They're looking for a receptionist or intake clerk. So definitely go check them out. If you have any questions, you can call 405-257-6604 for the Housing Authority, or 4057, or what's the complex number?
257-7200.
All right, coming in clutch, Delaney.
There he is.
And so tonight there's also some basketball going on. Wilkes traveling to Kanawha, Varnum at Asher, and then Sand Creek. I received a good food sale flyer for the Sand Creek Ceremonial Ground. They're on Saturday, January 7th. They're at the Wewoka Civic Center in Wewoka, Oklahoma. They're having a food sale and bingo. You know, we the last time I got to go to Sand Creek, we got invited to this one camp, and they cooked. Well, it was nice. They had some ribs, some brisket, and they definitely did it up good. And so if the same people are cooking at the food sale that was there, I'm sure it's going to be a good one. Again, that's going to be Saturday, January 7th at the Wewoka Civic Center. Food sale at noon, bingo starts at 1. So go help out the Sand Creek Ceremonial Ground. And then also the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Peoples Central Oklahoma Benefit Gourd Dance at the Central Potawatomi Nation Cultural Heritage Center there in Shawnee. That's going to be on January 14th from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. All invitation to all MMIP with families, loved ones, and our sister MMIP with chapters. And so your master ceremonials, your MC is going to be Joaquin Hamilton Youngbird. And so again, that's going to be January 14th from 2 to 8. All this talking about food is making my stomach grow.
It's that time.
Any last words from y'all? Delaney, Joe, y'all been very vocal
Take us
today.
out, Joe.
Yep, y'all have a good day.
You can catch the rebroadcast of this radio show on the Facebook page, YouTube, and tribal website, SNO-NSN.gov for the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma every Wednesday around 8 or so. If you have news or announcements you want to share on the community and events Facebook page, please email the communications staff at seminolemedia@gmail.com or call 405-652-7251. And as always, tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. right here on KWSH 97.7 FM or the legendary 1260 a.m. For radio producer Mark Williams, engineer Dennis Burton.
I'm Delaney Pinup.
I'm Josiah Bender.
I'm Jeremy Fultz. We'll see you next week. Mado and Jihi Jahlis.
O Solobi Ajuliben, O Solobi Ajuliben, Agasamga Mojasi Jash Miko Sapalgi, Agasamga Mojasi Jash. O Solobi Ajuliben, O Solobi Ajuliben, Agasamga Mojasijas, Iskina Kalgi, Agasamga Mojasijas, O Solobi Ajuliben, O Solobi Ajuliben, Agasamga Mojasijas, Powantagi Agasamga Mojasijas, O Solobi Ajuliben, O Solobi Ajuliben, Agasamga Mojasijas, Posalgi Agasamga Mojasijas, O Solobi Mojasibin, O Solobi Mojasibin, Agasamga Mojasijas, Mikosa Palgi, Agasamga Mojasijas, O Solobi Mojasibin, O Solobi Mojasibin, Agasamga Mojasijas, Iskina Kalgi, Agasamga Mojasijas, O Solobi Mojasibin, O Solobi Mojasibin, Agasamga Mojasijas, powantagi agasamga mojasijas otlolobi mojasibin otlolobi mojasibin agasamga mojasijas potahalgi agasamga mojasijas otolobi mojasibin otolobi mojasibin agasamga mojasijas.